Ever think of starting a business in 2024? Here's what you need to know. All of it's right here. So I want to kind of walk through this and give you an idea of what it really takes to start a business. And part of this example is all about pickleball. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in this country in 2024, and we're going to capitalize on that with my latest investment. So what I want to do is go through some of this. Again, this is just scratching the surface. This amount of work translates to probably hundreds, maybe even 1,000 hours of work dedicated to doing this project alone. So let me kind of walk you through this. You're not going to really see the documents itself, but I'm going to kind of give you this idea about what it is and what it takes to go over it. But I think somewhere to start is buying a building. So the first building I bought was literally from the city of Cleveland, and this place was vacant, destroyed, and I bought it for cash. So that's how we started. Our big deal here is we bought the building cash. And when you buy it cash, you could buy the best building possible, but it needed a lot of renovation. So we bought it for next to nothing. It was a $75,000 building, but the amount of renovation it needed is the key. So what you do is really think about what it needs. And the first part is this is an architectural drawing here. So when you're getting a building, you need to know the footprint and everything you have. So maybe the first step is, of course, you purchase it. You get an architectural drawing on it because that doesn't change. The footprint doesn't change at all. So this is all the work that goes into maybe just doing a architectural drawing and getting to that. Maybe how about quotes? How many quotes are you going to get on an architect just to be able to sign one to get one to talk about your building? So I have multiple quotes from architects giving me their idea on what they would do and how they would lay it out and their costs. I had to pick one and they put it together. So just that alone, meeting with people, putting that together and talking about maybe these potential uses for the building, because I bought this building with no idea in mind on what I'm actually going to do with it other than it could be a giant warehouse. So that's going back a little ways. It's going on over a year now. It's approaching actually the 2-year mark that we've been cleaning up and renovating this building. But 6 months ago is when I actually had the architect and everything moving towards pickleball. So you think about pickleball and what you need to do, and starting any business is getting the building, getting architects, and have insurance. So again, you repeat this process. Insurance, it's boring. I know there is so much to do with insurance, but you know what? You got to shop carriers. You got to get 3, 4, 5 quotes and tell them what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Get insurance coverage because you definitely don't want to put yourself at risk. You've got to have insurance. So again, you go through here and tell them what you're going to do. What's your plan with the building? How does it look? So then you got to get all that insurance. So after you get those 2 things done, I think we get into actually doing a business plan. The business plan is probably the most important part of the entire business because it'll give you everything you need to know. How are you going to generate money? How are you going to run the business day to day? This will accompany some projections. This is how you're going to get money. So let's hold on to this. We're definitely going to talk about this some more because the actual business plan part and the projections that I put together. So it'll be a chart like this. So a chart showing, hey, how we're going to renovate, what are the costs to renovate, and then how are we going to make money is all part of this business plan. But as we get into, what you need to do in financing, how about quotes to do everything? How about meeting with electrical, structural, think about how many quotes have to go into actually fixing a building, garage doors, man doors, the floorings, the bathrooms, the plumbing, the electrical, the utilities, gas, electric, water had to all be restored. We're going to be pouring concrete here. So imagine how many bids you have to go through and how many contractors you have to meet with each thing you want to do. So if it's landscaping or concrete or electrical, meeting with 3, 4, 5 bids, how long does that take? 1, 2 hours each one? Show them your plan, get them a bid, put all those bids together. I mean, just this project alone for pickleball, we were quoted $92,000 to $162,000 to do the same exact work. That is why you get multiple bids, because literally one person at $162,000 and another one at $92,000. Either this person's hungry for work or they're just way too expensive. That's why you need to get bids together. So starting a business in 2024 is challenging because look, the prices could literally be all over the map. I couldn't believe that I saw $162,000 and then $92,000. The $92,000 quote that I got, I actually went with because I knew them as well. I had worked with them before. They were reputable, came in as a referral from somebody else. So amazing. Usually you eliminate the bottom number, eliminate the top number, and go in the middle. But in this case, we actually knew this person, worked with them, and was confident that they could do the project and at the best price, which is crazy. But that was after 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I got 9 quotes for electrical. So imagine spending 2 hours with each one of them, working through, talking to them multiple times. Like, think of that. Just getting an electrical quote finalized took me 50 to 100 hours. So that's quite a long time. So something to think about when starting a business, getting quotes, talking to those contractors, really being strategic on who you want to pick and really want to make that business with. Think about this too. When I bought this building, it was a factory. You don't think about it, but going to a board of zoning meeting. Think about the building you buy was a factory, like this case. This factory is now going to turn into pickleball, so you need to go to a meeting to ask the city if you can even do that. What if you buy a building that you think you can invest in, build this, do all this, build all these projections, get quotes, build it out, and then they tell you you can't do it? So 6 months ago here, we ended up at the BZA meeting telling them what we're going to do, and they said yes. Actually, the city is super excited to have this project. They do want to see a pickleball center in Cleveland, so that's a huge thing. You really got to think about, there's so many little pieces when we're talking about administratively. There's even the health department. So when we're talking about pickleball, we're talking about food and beverages there. So we needed to do a whole plan with the health department. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but imagine now paying the architect to lay out something and specify all your equipment and giving that to the Board of Health to look at and then go through there. How about a liquor license? Because you're talking about all the government entities. So once you're approved by council, then you're approved by the health department and the building department. You go to the liquor department, and then you could get the liquor license. Again, that's a huge process, and we pull the license in, called a Trex. When you Trex a license in, you bring it in from another part of the state. Again, you need council to sign off on that and approve of that Trex transfer. So after you even get all the government issues done, all the bids together, you still have to put more of the business plan together. Like, these things are ever changing. I feel like when you're starting a business in 2024, the market is so volatile. Like, the costs of the quotes are all over the place. Everything is all over the place. So even the layout of pickleball is all over the place. Like, what type of courts to use. Okay, now this is out of stock. This is out of stock. So now we have to go into doing this system, and we settled on Sportsmaster. So they're a local supplier as well that we are going to use for the flooring. So that was good. That was a whole project in itself. Do you use this type of flooring, that lighting, this flooring? You know, it was just back and forth. So it was a moving target. So we got that settled up. That was another part. How about posting a job? How about creating job descriptions? Like, you don't think about all this stuff when you're starting a business. No, I'll do the business myself. Well, no, you won't. There's no way. There are very few businesses that you could run yourself. So how about the retail stock, the employment, whoever you may have, the handbooks, the SOPs, that's standard operating procedures, and everything else that goes with it. That's another piece of the puzzle. Think about all these things. I mean, definitely leave a comment, ask a question if you have more. I could go into greater detail with maybe just one of these items, because each one of these could be 20, 30 minutes to just talk about. How about working with a supplier of your industry? So in pickleball, we're talking about Euerle, which is a great manufacturer of pickleball products across the board here. So we teamed up with them, and we're going to get nets, paddles, balls, and retail supplies from them. So that was a huge contract. I mean, going back and forth with them, coming up with partnership agreements and how they're going to help us grow, which they were great to work with, and they are going to be great to work with once we get them established inside the building. And I think that is the quick overview, but I think I need to settle up with one thing here. You can't do any of this without money. So whether you have your own money, whether you have dad's money, or in my case, I use a combination of my money and the bank money. Today, well, I should say I have talked to many banks. I have put all that processes together. So imagine talking to 5 banks and spending 5 to 10 hours with each of them, because you need to give them the overview, the projections, the cost. You got to show them the space. You got to make sure it's all insured. So we end with a bank. We have a bank in mind. We have a term sheet. They accepted it. And today is the day the bank delivers me a $700,000 suitcase full of cash to just finish this project. So today's a very exciting day. We're about 6 months into the pickleball project. You could see 6 months of intense work. A little bit before we decided the pickleball, but a lot of it was done just to clean up and get started. So you could kind of get an idea, putting all this business plan together. But I think the key is, if you don't have money in 2024, I don't know how you're gonna start a business. So we're gonna sign the paperwork. We're gonna get the money today. Today is the day we're gonna get the money. We are gonna close this after 6 months of intensely working at it, getting all the pieces together for the pickleball. Today's the day we're gonna get the money. We're gonna finish up the project, and I'm gonna explain more. You leave a comment, ask a question. I'll do another video on how to start a business in 2024, and I will give you all the insight I have, because I wanna encourage everybody to start a small business here.